Okay, recognition of a provision. When to recognize provisions. Recognition means recording those liabilities, those future liabilities, even if even if there is a significant uncertainty on the occurrence and time as well as amount of the liability. IFRS requires to recognize those types of obligations in the financial statement in order to prepare a complete financial statement. But if the following criteria are satisfied, companies accrue or record any provision as an expense and liability if and only if the following three conditions are satisfied. The following three conditions are simultaneous criteria to recognize provisions. The first one, the company has a present obligation. The company should have a present liability as a result of the past event, as we have discussed in the past, in the previous slides. The second one is there should be a probable in a sense more than 50% chance of payment of cash or settlement of the liability by product or service in the future. By the way, according to IFRS, chance of occurrence is classified mainly into four parts. The first one is remote chance of occurrence means minimum chance of occurrence. Usually IFRS uses less than 5% for remote. The second one is possible chance of occurrence. It is greater than 50%, but up to 50%, less than what it called. It includes 50%. Possible is part of 50% is part of the possible, and the other one is probable. Any chance of occurrence is considered as a probable if it is greater than 50%. Greater than 50%, it means it is more likely than unlikely. The last one is virtually certain, which means almost it is certain. Virtually certain is usually, as far as uses more than 90% as a virtually certain. Okay, so if let's assume the company sold products for the customers, and the products are sold means the past event that creates the liability is already it becomes historical, or it already becomes past. The past event for the warranty liability is the selling of the product for the customers, so the past event is satisfied, but it is not the sufficient criteria to recognize provision. You have to check, is it probable that the product is sold for the customers will become defective and require the outflow of cash for the company in the future? If the answer is yes, or if the probability of the defect, if the chance of the defects occur on the delivered or sold product is greater than 50%, you have to recognize a liability related with the obligation, even if the cash is not yet paid. Okay, so probable that an outflow of resources will be required to settle the obligation. And the last one is there should be a reliable estimate. The reliable estimate, in a sense, the company should reliably estimate the amount of the cash required to settle those liabilities arising in the future. So these three criteria are simultaneous criteria. If those three criteria are satisfied, even if the amount is not fully known, even if the timing is not known in certain, even if the occurrence is not also certain, you have to recognize the liability, because IFRS believes including future events with chance of occurrence of more than 50%, and if the amount is reliably estimated, if those type of transactions included, the financial statement becomes complete. Okay. Example, recognition of a provision. Example, let's assume Santos company gives warranties to its customers, which means the company agreed to repair and maintain products sold for the customer if there is any defect occurred on the products to its customers related to the sale of the electrical products. The warranties are for 3 years. The company provided a 3-year warranty, which means after the date of sales up to 3 years if there is any defect on the product, which is specifically stated on the contract. In the warranty contract, the seller is obligated to repair and maintain those items, which requires a future certification, a future outflow of cash from the date of sales based on the past experience. Based on the past experience of the company, it's probable in a sense, the chance of the defects is greater than 50%, more likely than not that there will be some claims under the warranty. Question: should Santos record in the statement of financial position or balance sheet date a provision for the warranty costs? The company expects to recognize the liability because the past event is already satisfied. Do you remember the criteria? The first one is the past event. The past event in this example is the selling of the product for the customer. Is it probable, as the example clearly states, the occurrence of the future liability is probable or more likely than not? So even if even if there is no any information given about the reliability of the estimate, you have to consider the company should recognize liability because it is only in a rare situation that the companies are unable to estimate their future obligation good. So the solution: the warranty is a present obligation as a result of the past obligating event. The past obligating event is the sale of the products, which means before the products, the electronics products are not yet sold for the customers, there is no any liability on the company. The warranty liability arises at the point of sales, which gives rise to the legal obligation. We will discuss the difference between the legal and constructive obligation in the next slides, but arise to the legal obligation. Second, the warranty results in an outflow of resource impairing benefit in settlement. The warranty requires future outflow of cash or other type of resource, and it is probable that there will be some claims related to this warranty. Santos company should recognize the provision based on the past experience. Good. Okay. As clearly stated in the criteria, the obligation may be legal. The obligation may be legal or constructive. Legal or constructive. According to IFRS, obligations are classified into two parts: legal and constructive obligation. What do you mean by legal obligation? Obligation is classified as legal and constructive. What do you mean by legal obligation? According to IS 37, any obligation is considered as a legal obligation if and only if it arises from contracts. If there is a contract or agreement between the two parties, at this time the seller and the buyer. And legal obligations, as the name indicates, if one party fails to comply with the contract, the other party has the ability to enforce the agreement by legal actions. Let's assume the company provided a warranty service for customers by giving a contract or by agreeing with the customer by written document. Then if the products if there is any defect on the product in the specified time period, the seller is obligated to repair and maintain the product. It is not because of it's in order to maintain its good relationship with the customer, rather it is because of the contract, and the buyer had the ability to enforce the contract by a legal action. Okay. Another example for legal obligation is obligations related with employee salary of the employee. If Mr. X is an employee of XYZ company and Mr. X performs a one month service for the company expects to pay the full monthly salary. The one month salary is considered as a legal obligation of the company because it is arised by the contract of the two parties, the employee and the employer. Okay, the other type of liability is, or the other type of obligation is the constructive obligation. Constructive obligation is an obligation usually arised because of the past experience of the company, the past action of the company, or the policy of the firm, or from the public speech of the company. For instance, let's assume a private company pays a bonus for employees on the year 2011, 2011 and 2012. A private company paid a bonus incentive for its employees for the past 2 years, 2010 and 2011. There is no any contract, any agreement between the company and the employees to pay the annual bonus, but because the company is profitable and because the management believes payment of bonus will initiate, encourage, and creates efficiency and effectiveness on the employees, they already paid the bonus for the consecutive 2 years. In the year 2012, in the current period, the company becomes profitable and the employees expect a bonus from the company, even if there is no any written agreement, written contract with the labor union or specifically with a single employee. The employees expect payment of bonus from the company, which means because of the past experience of the firm, because of the past practice of the company it becomes obligated to pay the bonus for the employees. Those type of obligations are called constructive obligations. What is the main difference between the constructive and the legal obligation? In the constructive obligation, there is no any written contract between the two parties. The constructive obligations are arising from the past event, policies, public speeches. Usually, constructive obligations are created by the past experience, and they create expectation upon the counterparty, in this time the employees of the firm. And legal obligations, they are legally enforceable but not constructive obligations. Constructive obligations, they are not legally obligated. Let's assume in the even if the company is profitable, if the company believes payment of bonus for in the current period is not relevant, and if the company wants the cash to expansion or for expansion purpose, the company may not pay the bonus in the current period. At this time, the employees have not the ability or the right to sue or enforce the company to pay bonus because it is not arised by legal obligation. So companies enter into constructive obligation mainly to maintain their goodwill, to maintain their good relationship with the employee, the customer, the government, etc. Okay. Example: assume Christian Dior has a policy of refunding purchases to dissatisfied customers, even though it is under no legal obligation to do so. It's policy of making refunds generally now, which means the company sold products or services for products for the customers, and if there is no if there is any defect on the product at the point of sales, the buyers are permitted to exchange or return the product for the seller. But this policy, this agreement, not clearly stated on the contract, but the company's past practice of returning those products from the customers creates an obligation which is called constructive obligation. Solution: the refunds are present obligations are a result of past obligating given the sale of the product. The sale gives rise to the constructive obligation. Constructive obligation. Why it is constructive? Because the conduct of the company has created valid expectation upon the customers that will refund purchases, but it is not legally required. If the company wants to return the products, if the company wants to return the products because of in order to maintain its good relationship with the customer, even if it is not expected or it's not stated in the contract, the refunds result in the outflow of resources in the settlement. It's probable that the proportion of goods are returned to a refund. A provision is recognized for the best estimate of the cost of refund goods. Okay, another example: assume that an employee filed 1 million lawsuit. Assume the employee of a company sued the company, and employee filed 1 million lawsuit on November 30, 2015 against Morrison Company for damage suffered when the employee slipped and suffered a serious injury at one of the company's facilities. Morrison's lawyers believe that Morrison will not lose the lawsuits. Will not lose the lawsuit, putting the probability at less than 50%. Okay, the question here is: should Morrison Company recognize a provision for legal claim? The question is: should Morrison recognize a provision for legal claim at December 31st, 2015? The criteria status: the first one is the past event satisfied. The past event is satisfied because the employee already filed the 1 million claim for the legal for the court. Is there any probable obligation on the company? There is no probable obligation because it clearly states the law of the Morrison believes that Morrison will not lose the lawsuit, which means the probability of the cash payment in the future is not probable. So the company is not expected to recognize any provision. Solution: although the past obligating event is occurred, that Morrison will have to pay any damage, it is not probable. It is not probable, which means the company is not expected to recognize any liability. But if the chance is greater than 5%, or if it is not remote, the company should disclose the issue on the notes to the financial statement parts. But what if the lawyer of Morrison Company believes it is probable that the company will lose the lawsuit? At this time, the company should recognize provision because it becomes probable, or the chance becomes more than 50%. Okay. Measurement of provision. How can we measure? Measurement means how can we calculate the amount of liability recognized as an obligation. According to IS 37, amounts recognized should be the best estimate of the expenditure required to settle the present obligation. The best estimate represents the amount that the company would pay to settle the obligation as a statement of the financial position date. But how can you determine the best estimate? It may be calculated based on the past past event or past experience of the company, based on the past experience of the company. Let's assume if the company is sued in the same type of legal issues at the past, and if the company paid per 100,000 in the past, and if the company is sued currently, and in order to estimate the amount, the company may use the past experience. But what if there is no any past experience related with that specific transaction? The company should discuss the issue with experts, like lawyers at the time of legal issues and technicians at the time of warranties. Common types of provisions include lawsuits, warranties, considerations, environmental provisions, onerous contracts, restructurings, etc. One of the main types of provisions is litigations. Assume Scores is involved in a lawsuit at December 31st, 2015, and prepare December 31st entry, assuming it's probable that Scorsese will be liable for 900,000 as a result of these suits. So the past event is already satisfied, and the occurrence is probable, and the amount is reliably estimated. So the company should recognize a liability by making the journal entry loss with loss debits and loss with liability is credited. Why liability? The cash is not yet paid, because the liability is, even if the liabilities are rising. What if prepare at December 31st entry if any, assuming it is not probable, which means the company is not expected to recognize any liability if it is not probable. So no entry is necessary, but the loss can be disclosed in the most to the financial statement part. Okay, the other type of provision is warranties. By the way, according to 37, warranties may be classified into two parts. The first one is assurance type of warranty, the other one is service type of warranty. Assurance type of warranties are given to assure the product performance as it is expected or as it is specified in the specifications, and it is the warranty given at the time of sales. And usually the buyer is not expected to pay any additional payment in order to have the assurance type of warranty. Let's assume if the company sold a refrigerator by Burr 20,000 and provides a 1-year assurance, a 1-year warranty, and if the customer purchases that refrigerator by paying this amount, the customer had the right to use this product and the right to repair and maintain the item if there is any defect in the 1-year period after the date of sales. But the customer is not expected to pay an additional payment to have this 1-year warranty, which means this 1-year warranty is an assurance type of warranty. But what if the customer is expected to pay per 2,000 in order to have the 1 year, or in order to have the additional 1-year warranty, which means in order to have totally a 2-year warranty. The second-year warranty is called service type of warranty. For the second-year warranty, the customer expects to pay an additional per 2,000. So this type of warranties are called service type of warranties. Okay. Warranty promise made by the seller to the buyer to make goods on a deficiencies of quantity, quality, or performance in a product. If it is probable that the customer will make a warranty claim and the company can reasonably estimate the cost involved, the company must be expensed goods. Assurance type of warranties, we already covered them. Example, Denson Machinery Company begins production of a new machine in July 2015 and sells 100 of these machines for $5,000 cash by year end. Each machine is under warranty for 1 year. The company provides a 1 year warranty for each machines. Denson estimates maybe based on the past experience or by discussing with experts, but at this time Denson's estimate is based on the past experience with similar machines that the warranty cost will average 200 per unit. The company expects to incur 200 repair and maintenance costs for each product sold for the customers. Further, as a result of the parts replacement and services performed in compliance with machinery warranties, it incurs $4,000 in warranty cost in 2015 and $60,000 in 2016. Question: what are the journal entries for the sale and the related warranty costs? Okay. Solution: the first entry at the time of sales is cash is debited by 500,000 because the company sold 100 products by 5,000 each, which means 5,000 times 100, 500,000 cash is received, and the company recognized the 500,000 because according to IFRS 15, if the performance obligation is satisfied or if the products are delivered for the customer, the company should recognize a revenue. So the company recognized a revenue of 500,000. Why these two journal entries are made: the warranty expense and the warranty liability. This is because of the standardized 57 or because of the rule of provision. As clearly stated in the question, the company expects about 200 costs for each product sold. So 200 times 100 products sold, the company expects to incur 20,000 in the future for the repair and maintenance of the products sold. Okay. For the sale of the machine and related warranty cost in 2015, in the year 2015, from the date of sales up to the end of the accounting period, from the products sold, the company incurred 4,000 in order to repair and maintain the item. So if the company paid this amount of money for the customers, the company already settled this amount of liability in the current period by the payment of cash. So liability is decreased by debiting warranty liability. Cash inventory, cash if the company paid cash for other parties. Inventory if the company itself is expected to repair and maintain the item. Okay, the last journal entry is in the next year. The company repaired and maintained and incurred 16,000. The warranty liability is debited by 16,000 because the 16,000 liability is already settled. Cash inventory or accrued is credited by 16,000. I think it is straightforward. Okay, the other type of warranty is service type of warranties. As we discussed in the previous slide, service type of warranties require an additional payment from the customer. It is an extended warranty, which means the company may provide a 1 year assurance type of warranty without requiring any payment. But if the customer wants to make this warranty for 3 years, the company requires an additional payment. The first 1 year is included in the assurance type of warranty, but the extended 2 year is service type of warranty, and for this 2 year warranty the company received an additional payment other than the selling price of the products. Okay, usually recorded in an unearned warranty revenue. Why? Unearned warranty revenue means it is a revenue for the company, which means if let's assume it is better if we support it by example. Let's assume XYZ, the company sold a product by BUR 20,000 and provided a 2 year service type of warranty. Service, it is not an assurance type of warranty, service type of warranty, and received an additional BUR 2,000 for the service type of warranty, which means the company totally received BUR 22,000 for the sale of the item, the 20,000 for the delivery of the product, the 2,000 for the extended warranty. So how can we record this cash collection and sales at the date of at point of sales? Cash should be debited by 20,000 because the company collected 20,000 from the product from the sale of the product, and 2,000 for the warranty, and the credit sales by 20,000. Why only 20,000? The revenue, according to IFRS 15, revenues are recognized after the performance obligation is satisfied, which means after the product or the service is delivered. So now the company delivered the product and the 20,000 is received because of the delivery of the product. This 20,000 is already earned by the firm, so it can be recognized as a revenue, as it says. But the 2,000 is not considered as a revenue because the service of type of warranty is not yet settled by the company for the customers. So the 2,000 is recorded as an earned revenue. Unearned revenue 2,000. Unearned revenue is a liability. Unearned, in a sense, the company collected the 2,000 in advance, but the service type of warranty is not yet provided for the customer. Okay,